Hey everybody, Bill Knutson here, New York Sports with an Attitude. Well, let's go over the last couple of days, or 3 days actually, of Mets games. Tuesday, Wednesday, and the doubleheader Thursday, with the weather messing up everything. They were supposed to have the doubleheader 4 o'clock Wednesday, and they only ended up playing one game Wednesday that started at 10 o'clock at night, and then they actually had the doubleheader yesterday, Thursday, that started at 3 o'clock with no weather issues. But anyway, back to Tuesday. That was the DeGrom game, and it was the typical DeGrom game. 7 innings, 2 runs, 26th straight start, 3 runs or fewer that he gave up, a major league record. He was great again, as he always is. And of course, as almost every one of those 26 starts and his 29 starts for the season, the Mets didn't score many runs. He scored 1 run in the 7 innings while he was in there, and he got another loss. The Mets lost the game 5-3. We got a 2-run homer in the 9th when we were down 5-1, and it didn't make a difference. DeGrom lost. 8 wins, 9 losses, with a tremendous ERA of 1.71. Sorry folks, he's not getting the Cy Young Award. With a losing record, it's not going to happen. I believe he has 4 starts left. He would have to dominate those 4 starts, lower the ERA to have even a tiny chance of getting the Cy Young, in my opinion. But I'm not the one who votes and whatever, but just don't see him winning it. I see him 3rd right now, possibly second, but. And in those last 4 starts, like I said, he'd have to dominate and lower his ERA and win all 4. Nola and Scherzer would have to slide in those last 4 to give him even a slim shot. I hope he gets it. Obviously, I'm a lifelong Mets fan. I want him to get it. He's been tremendous. But offense has just let him down almost every start. But anyway, we lost that game Tuesday night. Fell to 65-78. Wednesday came in. Like I said, we were supposed to play a doubleheader. Only ended up playing the one game that started 10 o'clock at night. The offense showed up big time for Wheeler. 13-0. Wheeler was great. 8 shutout innings. Offense smacking the ball all over the place. DeGrom's got to be sitting on the bench thinking something like, what do you guys, hate me or something? You want me to not win the Cy Young? Obviously they're not thinking that, but for some reason the offense seems to show up for other guys and not for DeGrom this year. So Wheeler got his 11th win. He's tied with Syndergaard, 11 wins apiece. But can't get anything for DeGrom. But Wheeler was excellent, as he's been most of the time since the All-Star break. He's now 11-7, very good. And we got the win Wednesday, and at 1:30 in the morning, whatever it was when the game ended. It was never a game. We won it early. 66-78, moving on to Thursday, when the doubleheader with the Marlins finally did start. 3 o'clock yesterday. We had first game at 3 o'clock. It was looking like a loss for Matz. He hit a 2-run homer, his first ever home run in the Major Leagues. Gave us a 2-0 lead, but he wasn't able to hold it. He pitched, I believe it was 7 innings, 6 2/3 maybe. Gave up 3 runs. Not horrible, but he couldn't hold that 2-0 lead that he gave himself with his first Major League home run. We were down 3-2 going into the 9th. Wasn't looking good. First 2 guys got out. So we're down to our last out. Nobody on. Down 3-2 in the 9th. Conforto ties the game with a long home run, so very happy about that. Next batter, Frazier, hits a walk-off home run. Beautiful thing. Looked like 99.9% we were going to lose that game. Back-to-back home runs to win the game. The first time in the Mets' 57-year history that we got a tying home run and a walk-off home run in back-to-back hitters to win a ball game. Never happened before until yesterday, 3 o'clock, first game of the doubleheader. So that was a beautiful thing. Going into the second game, Vargas, who's been better in the second half, still had a 6.75 ERA, going into yesterday's start, but it was at one time almost 13 early in the season. So been pitching better. Gave up a 2-run homer early in the game. I was like, oh man, why can't we get a doubleheader? We've had 3 other doubleheaders and split them all. So, but you know, it was early. We're down 2-0 after like 3 innings. Still have a chance, and we came back. You know, we came back, tied the game, took the lead. You know, Vargas went 6 innings, only gave up 2 runs. That's a pretty decent start. Obviously lowered his ERA. He was pretty solid. I can't argue with it. And we actually ended up taking the game. We actually came back, took a 3-2 lead, and then Conforto gave us some breathing room with a long 2-run double to give us a 5-2 lead, and that's what it ended up. We ended up sweeping the doubleheader. Now we're 68 and 78. If we could just eliminate June, like I've mentioned, we'd be 6 games over 500. And we'd actually be somewhat in contention for a wild card spot, 6 games over 500. But unfortunately, we're 10 games under 500 because June counts. But we're 9-3 in September, the best record in baseball in September, 9-3. And like I said, if it weren't for June, we'd be 6 games over 500 the rest of the year. But June counts. All right, so we've won 3 in a row, 9 out of 12 here in September, 68 and 78. All right, you know, we got 16 games left. Maybe we go 9-7, 10-6, end the season on a good note. We've got a few young guys that seem, you know, McNeil, best of them right now. Who knows? Maybe Alonso comes up next year. Maybe he's a star. Who knows? But please, give McNeil the second base job. He's hitting and hitting and hitting and playing good defense. He hustles. Got to have him in the lineup. You know, with Nimmo and, you know, Conforto's got 25 home runs now. Had a real bad first half, but he's been doing well the second half. You know, so maybe we have something to be thankful for in 2019. Obviously, DeGrom, Syndergaard, Wheeler. That's a pretty good 1, 2, 3. You know, we got some issues in the bullpen. Cespedes might be gone the whole year, next year, or at least most of it. So we can't count on him for 2019. But, you know, we've got a few things maybe to look forward to. Hopefully, the Mets organization will go out and go after some big people. Go after Craig Kimbrell. He's an absolute stud closer. Go after him. You probably won't get him, but at least, you know, us as long-suffering Mets fans, at least we'll know that you're trying. Go after a Kimbrell. You know, what the heck? Go after Bryce Harper. You know, whatever. You know, try. Go after some big-time free agents. Spend some money wisely. You know, give us some hope for next year. We've had 2 bad seasons in a row, and I know just 2016 we got to the wild card game, 2015 to the World Series, but it seems like 100 years ago. But anyway, that's it for baseball. Obviously, we Sunday night got the Giants in Dallas. That's going to be a tough one against the hated Cowgirls. Hate those Cowboys. Cowgirls, I call them. That's going to be a tough one for the Giants. You know, the Jets, after blasting Detroit in Detroit on Monday Night Football, they're hosting Miami. I think that's a very winnable game for the Jets. You know, I'm not saying they are going to win, but I think it's very possible they'll be 2-0. Giants are going to have a tougher time, I think, in Dallas, but I'm hoping they'll get a victory out of it. But, you know, I'll probably do a show Sunday morning. We'll talk more about Jets and Giants and see what's going on with that, and the next couple of Mets games I'll talk about. We head to a really tough place for the Mets, heading up to Boston. They've already won 100 games. They've got a lineup that's brutal, you know, when you're pitching against it. Granted, we have Syndergaard tonight. We got DeGrom on Sunday. We have our 2 best going in Boston this weekend, but really, really tough lineup. So, I don't know. We'll see. But tonight, watch the game in Boston. All weekend, watch the Mets in Boston. Hopefully we can pull out a miracle and at least win 2 out of 3 and really start feeling good about ourselves. All right, so subscribe to the show if you can. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, watch the Mets in Boston this weekend. And as always, Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.